welcome to this quick tool review. This time around we have another product from Tangent Engineering to take a look at, but first I want to look back on my experience with Tangent Engineering. Jimenos, head of Tangent Engineering, reached out to me many years ago with his first product, the quill wheel, and I didn't know what it was and why it was a good idea. And he said it replaced the standard quill handle on the mill. And as you can see, this guy would obviously have some range limitations, so what they did was they put a pin in it so that you can, and with a bunch of holes where it mounts, so that you can set this quill handle so that it's in the convenient range for the person operating on the front when the quill's at a certain level. Well, the quill wheel solved that problem, and I didn't realize at the time, but since then, I use this thing non-stop. If I'm doing more than 1 or 2 holes, this guy goes on every single time. It is a great addition to my mill, and it mounts the same way. He designs it for specific mill styles, and I love this thing. Absolutely fantastic. I was a little skeptical initially, but boy, once I got to using it, the only limitation I've ever run across is that this sticks down farther than the handle all the way around, so you can't get it out of the way. So if you have something sticking up high off your mill table and you're trying to drill something really low, so that this can basically collide and you'd have to switch back to the handle in those rare situations. I thought that'd be more common. That's very rare. This thing is my go-to for any amount of drilling on the mill. I ran across situations where I wanted to set up a precision angle on my compound, on my lathe, and I came up with this device which has 4 magnets that are epoxied in on a metal plate that is ground flat and square. This is square, and so is this to this angle right here. You could take a sine bar, mount it on here, put a stack of gauge blocks right here, and you can run an indicator along here and set your compound very accurately. Sure enough, Jim came out with a much improved version of the same thing. Like, why have a plate that you have to be able to sit a sine bar on top of and put a stack, you know, a very carefully calibrated stack on top of to get your measurement? So he made it all in one, and he made it for different size compounds. So he had A3, A4, A5, and a 6-inch sine bar. If you take a look at this, that have very strong magnets on the bottom with calibrated pin locations. And again, the angle is set using a gauge block set. A brilliant idea. Then he one-upped it. Besides providing charts for Jacobs tapers, Morse tapers, Brown and Sharp tapers, Jarno tapers, which I've never heard of, he has all of the gauge block stack-ups that you need for each one of his different lathe compound sine bar attachments. So not only did Jim make it much easier to set angles on a compound, he also found a shortcut to the stack of gauge blocks. So instead of needing an entire gauge block set, which this is a partial set that I use for just rough values, he came up with specific sets for specific tapers. So this is a Morse taper set, and it covers all of the standard Morse tapers. And it goes all the way from 0, including 4.5 to 7 of the Morse tapers, and includes a bunch of individual pre-ground gauge blocks for each taper, so you don't even need to think about it. It's designed for a specific sine bar, so this is the set for the 4-inch sine bar, because obviously as your sine bar length changes, then these gauge block thicknesses change, and he's got sets for all of them. Pretty fantastic idea. And he didn't even stop here. So if you need to find an angle of something, of a shaft you have mounted in your lathe, like held in a 4-jaw chuck, this set here is set up so that you can find that angle, because this piece of steel will hold the sine bar on here, and then you can run your indicator back and forth across the part to match that angle exactly. And this set, so this clamps on to a piece of work you have in the lathe already and allows you to do the angle that way. Jim also introduced me to this type of center drill. This is the normal center drill, where you have a center shaft, a chamfered section at 60 degrees, and a straight shaft. This one, you'll notice, is not straight. It's curved, it's radiused. With this type of center drill, if you have your center just stuck in directly, it works perfectly. It's gonna it's going to make contact at one point all the way around, making a circular contact. However, if you were trying to offset your tailstock at an angle to cut a taper with that method, if you don't have a taper attachment, like a lot of us, including myself, don't, this now will only make really contact on one side, maybe the other side if you're lucky. And if you used a radius center drill, then when you change the angle, it just moves up the radius and you make contact all the way. Jim introduced me to these as well, and I have a full set now in case I want to offset my tailstock. So on to Jim's latest creation, the mini magnetic indicator holder. And there's Jim's contact information if you want it. This set looks like a very standard indicator holder that works with indicators that have the mount back on them, like this one and this one. It was designed with really small indicators in mind. I don't have the mount back for this one or this one, but he had specifically mentioned that he designed it for really small indicators to get in small places. Let's take a look at this new set. Because you're thinking, a magnetic indicator holder? Seen that a million times. Oh, it came with an indicator. Holy cow. All right, Jim, thank you. So he's got a small indicator pre-mounted on a screw with a really strong magnet. Now, the really strong magnet presents a problem all by itself. And we've all worked around this by using indicator holders with switchable magnets, right? But these have a problem of being very large and bulky. And if you want to get into a small spot, these aren't always your best option. They are very versatile. So the holder itself is very simple. It is just a U-shaped section that is tapped and threaded for, it looks like 1/4 bolt, and you just basically thread on your indicator on the back. So that seems pretty straightforward, right? But if you get it, holy cow, if you get it on a piece of thick steel like this is 3/4 inch thick steel, this magnet has over 40 pounds of pull, and I cannot lift it off. So that's where Jim comes in with his unique solutions. He includes a removal device, basically a lever. So you stick this tool right on here, lift up, and the indicator comes off with it. Moreover, since it captures inside between the indicator mount and the magnet itself, you have the advantage of the indicator not flying off if you weren't holding on to it well. So let's take another look at this. So you basically just slide this guy in, lift up, indicator is ready and waiting, and easily removed. This is a much improved design on the standard magnetic indicator holder, like, let me show you. This is a Chinese ripoff version of indicator holder that's magnetic. And on a thick piece of steel, it's pretty strong and hard to get off there. And I have to basically slide it off until I can get an edge off to pry it off with my hands. That is not ideal. This is an even stronger magnet than that one. And from either side, I can use Jim's tool to get the indicator off. A really handy design and a very smart and creative solution to a problem. This guy, however, you just have to pry off. So in a lot of cases, this is a ripoff of the mini mag bases that a lot of people use. And I got these once upon a time just to see if the long magnet form factor I could use for other things. So I bought some inexpensive Chinese ripoff versions of it. However, this is a really handy form factor because the base is not only extremely strong, 40 pounds plus a pull, but it also fits in really small, compact spaces, a lot more so than this design or even the releasable magnetic design. So there is definitely a place for this in your arsenal of tools to use indicators. And that's pretty much it. Just an indicator holder that is extremely strong, but still removable, magnetic 40+ pound pull that'll fit in small spaces. Especially that it works with really small indicators. Even this one, if I had a back for it, which I guess I could make, all the way up to standard size indicator and indicators and even larger. All of these will fit the standard holder. A really cool design from Jim over at Tangent Engineering. And here is their contact information again. If you are interested, please get a hold of them, reach out, and see if you can pick one of these up for yourself. It's a very handy tool for a bunch of really interesting problems you'll run across in your shop. Thanks for watching. Hope you find it useful. Hope to see you next time.